Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire refrigerator ice door bracket. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new ice door bracket. The ice door bracket is what the ice door assembly mounts on. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's cracked or damaged and the ice door is an opening, causing the ice not to come out and a bunch of warm air to leak up into your freezer. In order to get to the part, we have to take the dispenser apart. First thing we're going to do is pull the drip tray out. All you have to do is grab it, pull it out, and set it aside. Once you have the tray out of the way, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to remove these 3 screws that holds the bottom of the frame to the door. Once you have the screws out, we can lift the control panel up and unhook it from the door and then pull it out so we can disconnect the wiring harness. Once you have the control panel away from the door, we can reach in and disconnect this wiring harness. There's no latch or anything that holds it in. You just want to grab it and carefully pull it off. Once you have the wire harness unhooked, you can set the control panel aside. With the front panel out of the way, we have to remove this whole assembly. First thing we're going to do is take something that's slightly smaller diameter than the opening for the water line and push the water line up into the dispenser housing. Once you have the water line pushed up into the housing, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to remove these 3 screws. Now that we have the screws out, we can lift the assembly out. And there's a connection right here for the wiring harness. All you have to do is press the locking tab to release it and pull it off. Once you have the wiring harness disconnected, we can pull the assembly out of the dispenser housing. Now that we have the assembly out of the refrigerator, we can take the ice door off. The ice door is mounted onto the bracket and it's held in by this pin that runs through with the spring. The pin isn't in there that tight, and if you have a small pin or a punch, you can just drive it through. We're just going to take a pair of pliers and slide it off to the side. Once you have the pin out, we can pull the ice door bracket out of the assembly. Then we have to swap the ice door parts from the old bracket to the new bracket. To take the ice door apart, we have to remove this white piece. It's just held in by a few tabs, so you can carefully flex it and just pull it out. Once you have it out, you can set it aside, and then we can take the rubber part of the ice door off. Once you have the rubber part of the ice door off, you can set it aside. Here's the old ice door bracket next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the ice door back together, we're going to grab the rubber seal, and coming from the bottom with this side up, we're going to put this onto the new bracket. Just work it on all the way around. It just sits in the groove. Once you have it on and in place, we can put the insulation and the white piece back on. It's got those 3 tabs on there, so we're just going to basically put one in and spin it around and get the second one started, and then the third. You're going to have to spin it around until it's at this gap right here, and you're just going to have to push up from underneath and make the opening a little bit bigger and slide it underneath. Once you have the ice door put back together, we can put it back into the assembly. To put the ice door bracket back in, we're going to line it up and carefully set the spring down here. Once you have the spring in place, we're going to carefully set it down and line up the holes so we can run the pin through it. You want to make sure that the pin goes through the hole in the ice door bracket and the spring on both sides. Once you have the pin most of the way through, if it gets tight, you can grab the pliers and push it all the way through until it lines up on the other side. Now that we have the pin in, we have to lift the ice door assembly up into place. As you lift it up, we have to make sure that these pins go on the back side of these ramps right here, and you have to move the ice lever a little bit to line it up to get them to go on nice and easy. You don't want to flex it and possibly break it. Once you have everything mounted in place, the door should snap back slowly and consistently, whether you press the arm or the door. Once you have the part installed, we can put the assembly back into the dispenser housing. To put the assembly back into the dispenser, we're going to grab the water line and feed it down through the hole. All you have to do is put this up at an angle like this and grab the line and push it through. Once you have the water line in place, we can rotate the assembly up. We're going to reattach the wiring harness on the left-hand side. You're going to have to angle it in a little bit. So all you have to do is plug the wiring harness in, make sure it locks into place so you get a good connection. Once you have that snapped in, then we can lift the assembly back up into the housing, and we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in to hold it in place. To put the control panel frame on, we're going to have to hook this wiring harness up into here. So we're going to rotate it over so we can plug it in. Once you have it started, you just want to carefully push it in so it locks into place so you get a good connection. And then we can rotate the panel over and mount it. Once you have it rotated over, you can line up the 3 tabs that go into these holes and hook it in. Once you have it in, you can pull it down to lock it in place. Then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the 3 screws in the bottom. Once you have the screws in, we can put the drip tray in. All you have to do is line that up and snap it in. Once you have the drip tray snapped in, you can plug the refrigerator back in and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.